the person you could have become. There is a version of you that exists only in your imagination. The version who made better choices. The version who didn't give up so easily. The version who became everything you once believed you could become. And the strange part is, that version is not someone different from you. It is just you, under different decisions. There was a man named Michael. He used to think about this all the time, not in a healthy way, but in a painful way. He would look at his life and quietly wonder, what if I had chosen differently? What if I had taken that opportunity? What if I had tried harder earlier? What if I had not given up so quickly? At first, these thoughts felt like motivation, but over time, they turned into regret. Because Michael wasn't just thinking about the future anymore. He was comparing his present life to a version of himself that never got the chance to exist. And that comparison slowly made him feel like he had already lost. He started noticing something. Every time he avoided doing something difficult, he felt a small relief, but that relief never lasted. It always came back later as disappointment. Every time he chose comfort, he gained a moment of ease, but lost a piece of respect for himself. And slowly, without realizing it, he started building a life he never actually wanted. Not because he made one big mistake, but because he kept making small choices that moved him away from himself. Michael once met an old friend who asked him a simple question. Are you becoming the person you wanted to be? Michael wanted to say yes immediately. But something stopped him, because the honest answer was uncomfortable. He was not becoming that person. He was postponing it. The friend looked at him and said something that stayed with him for a long time. The person you could have become is not lost. You're just not choosing them. That sentence changed the way Michael saw everything, because it removed the illusion that something outside of him was missing. Nothing was missing. The choices were. Michael began to realize something important. You do not drift into a better life. You build it, or you avoid it. There is no neutral path. Every day you are either becoming more aligned with who you want to be, or more distant from it. And the gap does not feel dramatic in the beginning. It feels small, almost invisible. One skipped effort, one delayed action, one more excuse that feels harmless, but time does not measure intention. It only measures repetition. Michael started looking at his life differently, not through big dreams, but through daily behavior. Not through what he wanted, but through what he was actually doing. And that is where the truth became clear. He was not stuck because life was against him. He was stuck because he kept choosing a version of life that required less of him. And that version slowly became his identity. One night, Michael sat alone and thought about the version of himself he used to imagine as a younger man. That version felt distant now, almost like a stranger. But instead of feeling hopeless, something shifted inside him. He realized something simple but powerful. That version of him was not gone. It was just not built yet, and if it was not built yet, then it was still possible, but only if he stopped negotiating with his actions. Because every time you delay what you know you should do, you are not just losing time, you are reinforcing a version of yourself that avoids change. Michael started small. Not with massive transformation, but with honesty. He stopped pretending he was doing better than he was. He started facing his habits directly. No excuses, no soft explanations. And slowly, something began to change. Not overnight, not dramatically, but clearly. His actions started to match his awareness. And that is where real change begins. Because awareness without action is just awareness, but awareness followed by discipline becomes transformation. And for the first time in a long time, Michael stopped asking who he could have become and started focusing on who he was choosing to become right now. Now allow your mind to slow down. You do not need to fix your entire future in this moment. You only need to stop abandoning yourself in small ways. Let go of the version of life you think you lost. It was never gone. It was just never fully chosen. And maybe it is still waiting for you.